It is almost 7 o'clock. We will call the meeting to order. Do I start right away? So we'll start with the adoption of the agenda. Are there any additions? I know it's not the norm for the regular council meeting, but there are two items that I would like to add with your permission. The first is under correspondence, 8.5, letter from the Honorable Lloyd Hines, Minister of Nova Scotia Transportation Infrastructure Renewal, and that's for the Duffy Road. And the second item would be in the closed session, 12.2, purchase and sale of municipal property. I propose the adoption of minutes. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say there's a correction at 8.3. Lisa Doucette should be TTE. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Comeau. Seconded by Councillor Devoux. All in favor, all in favor indicate by saying yes. Are there declarations of conflict of interest? If not, we'll go to 3, presentation. There are none tonight. We'll go to 4, adoption of minutes, November 18th, 2020. For the regular council meeting. Is there a motion to adopt it? Moved by Councillor Doucet, seconded by Councillor Comeau. All in favor? Motion carried. December 2nd for the council in committee meeting. Moved by Councillor Potier, seconded by Councillor Godet. All in favor indicate by saying yes. Number 5. 5.1 generator, Clare Health Center. I think Stefan has a few words to say on that. At the last meeting, I had spoken a bit about the information that we had up until now for the generator, and I had told you that I would have numbers to present to you here tonight. So I included in your package late this afternoon a motion for your consideration. I'm sorry, it's a bit last minute, so I've only had the chance to do it in English. I did not have the chance to get it translated, but essentially what we propose, we received 3 submissions, 3 bids for the generator itself. We have a price for the oil tank. I had also mentioned last time that the installation of the bus bar and the work on the panel itself at the center would have to be done by Schneider Electrical, because they installed the panel and they have the permits for it. And that there was a 4th element, electrical work to wire the building that the generator is in and to plug it to the medical center. So for that 4th element, we received submissions. We are waiting for a few more. So we approached different companies, several different companies in the Clare municipality to invite them to bid on this work. In fairness, a few of us told us that they would need a bit more time, so we will have all the bids by Friday, they told us. So we would like to, on that piece, we would like to wait until Friday because one, we would like to give them the chance to give them bids so that we can get to the best possible price, and also to give the chance to the staff members downstairs to really look at the bids that we received for that piece and make sure that we're comparing apples with apples. I can tell you that based on the bids that we received up until now, we are very comfortable where we are. If we look at what we had budgeted, I said that we would be over budget, but right now where we stand, we're well situated regarding our budget. So that being said, to go forward with the project tonight, I would like to present to you, I would like for the council to pass a motion to authorize the purchase of the generator, the purchase of the oil tank, and the installation of the bus bar and the work on the panel to allow us to begin this work as soon as possible. Either order the generator or even book the companies to make sure that we can that they can start the companies, if not before the holidays, shortly after. So that being said, for the generator, our recommendation is that we accept the submission from Philippe Leblanc Diesel Repairs for $36,100 plus HST for the oil tank, that we accept the submission from Como Fuels for $2,400 plus tax, and for the installation of the bus bar and the work on the panels from Schneider, it would be Schneider Electric Services for $20,000 plus HST. That would bring us to a total of $58,320 plus HST. Is there discussion on this? Councillor Potier? As we discussed before, I think it's really important that we have electricity at the medical center when their power is out, and with COVID-19 and the vaccines and everything that is coming along, we may have some too, and we need to be ready for. So I'm ready to do the motion. All right, is there any other discussion?
Municipality of the District of Clare award the tender for the purchase and installation of generator at Clare Health Center as detailed below for a total of $58,320 plus HST, and that these funds be taken from the municipality's capital reserve. Purchase of a 100 kilowatt diesel generator, Philippe Leblanc Diesel Repair for $36,100 plus HST. Purchase of a 1,000 liter Granby 2-in-1 double walled steel tank installed with fill and vent pipes, Como Fuels for $2,400 plus HST. Installation of bus bar, splitting of panel, and purchase of transfer switch, Snyder's Electrical Services, $19,820 plus HST.
Seconded by Councillor DeVoe. All in favor? Motion carried. We're now at number 6. Warden's activity report. I think Stefan has them. Thank you. This is the Warden Ronnie LeBlanc report for December 2020. November 20th, assisted to a presentation to a meeting with mayors from Yarmouth, Digby, and Shelburne counties for discussion with the Honorable Bernadette Jordan, Minister of Fisheries, to discuss our worries about the lobster fisheries. November 23rd, assisted at a virtual meeting with the mayors and wardens of Digby, Yarmouth, and Shelburne counties for a continuity of the meeting. On November 25th, a virtual meeting with the mayors and wardens, to discuss with Alistair Sudet on the crisis with the lobster fisheries. November 27th, participated to an interview with CJLS to discuss of the meeting with the Minister Jordan. November 27 still, participated with an interview with CBC to discuss the meeting with the Minister Jordan. 4th December, assisted to the ceremony for the Christmas tree at the municipal office, and 7th December, assisted to a meeting with the mayors and wardens of Yarmouth, Digby, and Shelburne counties to discuss of the next steps with the lobster fisheries crisis. Thank you for that. Are there any questions? If not, we'll go to with official statements from members of council. Councillor Camo. I would just like to take the occasion to congratulate Richard and Bernadette Lynn, who celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary on November 20th, and a congratulations certificate has been prepared by Ashley, and I will present it to them tomorrow. Someone else? Councillor DeVoe? Thank you. I just wanted to take a second to thank those that when they do their garbage, that they use the blue bags. We noticed that they have increased a lot, so I would like to thank the public that uses the blue bags. But that being said, we are at the time of year where it's starting to be very windy. Like, for example, today there is snow. I don't know what it is in French, but the snowplow, when they go. So I just want to take a second to ask if it's possible to the public to not put their bags, blue bags or other bags, the night before the garbage pickup, because the next morning often they're in the ditches, they're in the lawns, spread out everywhere, so there's a mess. So I thank the public for the nice work, but I ask that they, during the winter months, that they try to put their garbage in the blue bags of the morning itself of the pickup. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Anybody else? If not, we will continue to item 8, correspondence. 8.1, Honorable Lloyd Hines, Minister of Transportation Infrastructure Reunion on the Henry Hicks Road.
Dated September 22nd, 2020, regarding the condition of Henry Hicks Road in Lower Stoneyville. I have been advised that Henry Hicks Road is a private road and as such is not maintained by the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal. It is my understanding TIR applies, thus suppressant, to private gravel roads as time permits. However, such work is generally only undertaken after roads currently owned and maintained by TIR are completed. I will forward your correspondence to the local area office so they are aware of your concern. Should you have any further questions, please contact Area Manager Pamela Melman-Strand at 902-742-2416. Sincerely, Lloyd P. Hines, Minister.
Arrête de la discussion sur.
Any discussion on the letter? The letter that the municipality had sent to transportation to the department, it was to more or less explain the concern in that in the past, in the last few years, the government did some grading at the end of May, early June. And like last year, this year, it took place in September, October, and it has not been done yet. And it seems it will not be done to put the grading and chloride. So it goes later and later on every year. And we asked the reason why it can't be done in June, May, June, like in the past. So maybe we could advise Mr. Stephen Godin, who had made the request for the letter, to share their reply and see what he would like us to do, how he would like to pursue. We did not have a response yet, but we could wait also because the letter, the correspondence will be sent to Sonyville. We could wait and see what they will answer. Yes, we could wait to see how Sonyville will reply before they do that work. Anybody else want to comment? I don't know if they will reply or contact someone or only take the information and do nothing. I'm not sure. But if we don't hear anything from them, maybe we should do a follow-up. Yes, would you like to send something to Stephen? Yes, yes, because he made the request. And we could contact him and present explain the letter and the reply. I can contact Stephen. The letter will be part of our minutes, so it will be available to the public who wants to see it. So maybe any resident of the Henry Hicks Road will see it, but since Mr. Godin approached us with his questions, we could give him a call about the reply that we have to date and that we will stay in contact with the department. And we now have a contact with somebody in the department, and we can continue. Thank you. If you all agree with that, we can continue to 8.2. It's another letter from Honorable Lord Hines for the Peter de Gaulle Road.
Condition of Peter de Gaulle Road from Trunk 1 to Metegan Wharf. The government of Nova Scotia takes the condition of the province's road infrastructure very seriously. The Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal manages more than 23,000 kilometers of roads within the province and has a 5-year plan in place to upgrade and repair roadways. You will find a copy of this plan at novascotia.ca/tran/highways/HWYconstruction.asp. Each local TIR base makes every effort to repair roads through annual maintenance activities within their area and allotted budget. If there are specific repairs required to the Peter de Gaulle Road, please inform the Sonyville base by calling 1-844-696-7737. TIR is currently evaluating priorities as we undertake updating the 5-year plan. I will request staff consider improvements to Peter de Gaulle Road as part of this process. Should you have any further questions, please contact Area Manager Pamela Melman-Shand at 902-742-2416. Sincerely, Lloyd P. Hines, Minister.
So there could be a follow-up that I have with Mrs. Shand to see if they included the Peter de Gaulle Road as part of their planning for the next year or as part of their 5-year plan. I think it would be very important that she be contacted and hear the district manager if he could go have a look at the road to see how bad it is. It is one of the roads that are traveled with a lot of big trucks, and it is really not safe now. So we should have a follow-up with them for sure. Anybody else? If not, we will have a follow-up. We can go on to 8.3, letter from Lisa Doucette, General Manager of CIFA Radio. Mr. Stéphane Cyr, Ronnie LeBlanc, members of council, it has come to my attention that hardly any business in our community play our community radio in the background. While I know the municipality cannot force these places to play their local radio station, I do believe that they should try to encourage them to put Radio CFA, especially when you walk into a municipal-owned building like the Clare Health Center. It is really a shame not to be able to hear our own language on the radio, especially since our language is becoming at risk of disappearing. This is one of my jobs as general manager of Radio CIFA, is to promote our culture and unique language, which can be a bit daunting in an area where we are more and more assimilated by surrounding English communities. I am hoping that the municipality can help us and our language thrive and prosper by somehow encouraging our local businesses and municipal buildings to play Radio CFA for their clients. Thank you.
La musique aussi.
I'm not sure. Do we play music? Yes, there is music at the Clare Health. We had CFA before. I think we have CJLS now. It is certainly something that could change. We could go completely with CFA or mix both, but it is a question of talking to the staff and see.
Merci, Monsieur le Sous-Préfet.
In reading the letter, I have a few things that I was not very satisfied with, but I listen to CFA almost every day. There is some good information on the surrounding area when there are certain meetings. If there are events, local events, it is really good because CJLS and the other stations do not necessarily announce these things, or not all these things. So it is really, the music is good. There is music for everyone. There is some that I like and some that I don't like as much, but that's my choice. But me, I see the problem that I have with this. I don't think it is up to us to tell the people if it is our building or not, what kind of music that they could listen in their building. Again, I think it is their choice. They talk about trying to protect our Acadian language and things like that, which is good. But often, sometimes, there are certain programs that I listen to. I listen to all the program, and there might be 2 or 3 French songs, and the rest is mostly English. So by saying that they want to protect our language, yes, to a certain point, but I think there is a lot of English at our medical center. There, as Mr. Sear noted, he thought that there was CJLS. Quite often, that the CFA radio, all of a sudden there is dead air. That means that the station stops and there is nothing, and it can go 20 minutes to half an hour with dead air.
There's a lot of interviews with people, which is really good, but I don't think that it's something that the public that's waiting at the medical center or are very much interested in listening to an interview. People want to listen to music. That being said, I can't think of our buildings that play music apart from the medical center. There may be other ones that I don't know, but I think there's only the medical center. And I don't think that it's up for us to say to the manager of that building. It's up to it's not up to us to tell them what music they should be playing, but that's just my opinion. Thank you. Someone else wants to say something? Just to be clear for the medical center, when I was talking about playing music, it's just in the common space where the staff is. They have the option of putting music or not putting music, and they have the option of putting what they want. It's just in the waiting area, in the common space, that we have music. So it can certainly be done there. The other building that I think that won't apply now, but that could apply, would be the Rendezvous de la Baie. During the tourist season, we often have music there that's playing also. But apart from that, at the municipal office, we don't do that. We don't play music often. So I agree with Councillor DeVoe that I don't know if it's our role to tell the employees what music they should play. As a municipality, we try to promote CIFA, and certainly to do ads and announcements, and inform of the work that is happening with the councillors and what's happening in the municipality. And I think we have done a lot of work on that on the few last years, and we really need to take take advantage of our local radio to disseminate information, municipal information. So do we have to send a letter, or? I meet the director, Lisa Doucette, often enough that I can pursue the discussion with her. Thank you. Mr. DeVoe? Thank you. And again, I just want to be clear that I asked the public to support CIFA. I'm not against CIFA. I asked the public to listen and to participate. I just asked the public to support the radio. Thank you. If there's nothing else, we'll go to 8.4. Dr. Harold Cook, Chair from the Yarmouth Hospital Foundation. Thank you. Mr. Deputy Warden. The letter that we received from Dr. Cook is quite long, so I won't read all of it. Essentially, the Yarmouth Hospital Foundation is launching a finance campaign, Christmas campaign, that's for equipment for the intensive care unit. So specifically, I'll just read a short paragraph. Our hospital serves Digby, Shelburne, and Yarmouth County patients, yet is the only regional hospital in the province without ceiling lifts for its 7-bed ICU unit. The $131,675 investment to buy these standard lifts will also include one specialized ceiling lift. So they're contacting municipalities and probably private sector also to make a donation for the purchase of this piece of equipment. So if you allow me, I will remind the council and the public that's listening, the Clare municipality, we operate a little bit differently than other municipalities around. Instead of replying to a punctual demand, we have we fix an amount annually in our operational budget that we receive a request or not. We always give to the foundation for the purchase of equipment, even if they are not in a financing campaign. That means that it doesn't mean that we cannot contribute to this one if the council wishes, but just a reminder that we have already given over $6,000 to the foundation. Is there discussion? Councillor DeVoe? Thank you, Mr. Deputy Warden. Yes, it is well noted that we do give every year. And a little problem that I see with this request is that they mentioned that, yes, it's for, they want lifts. They're saying that all the other hospitals have them, but Yarmouth doesn't. but I wonder if how did the other hospitals get their lifts? Was it purchased by the province or not? That's just a little point, a small point, but they also mentioned that the lifts will serve the patients and also the nursing staff that will so to lift people. So yes, it will definitely help protect the backs of these employees. But I don't think it's up to the municipalities to put money on this equipment to protect the employees. Plus the doctors. An example that I thought is that if the province, if the paramedics, if in the province of Nova Scotia, for example, the paramedics from Southwest Nova ask for the municipalities to purchase power stretchers, I don't think that the municipalities should purchase the power stretchers for the paramedics. So I think for me, it's the same thing. Why would the municipalities purchase lifts for in the hospitals to help to lift the patients and help the staff, the nursing staff? I think it's obvious that I don't support this to give money for equipment like this. Thank you. Someone else that has something to say? Councillor Camo? The request comes from the Yarmouth Hospital Foundation, and it's them that we give 6,000 to every year.
It's 5,000 every year, and usually as a municipality, we buy a table at the spring gala where they do some fundraising for the foundation. For the table usually is $1,200. When I say 6,000, it's really $6,012 to support the gala. I would agree to continue to finance the amount that we give them for the next years, and that would be considered a contribution. Thank you. Anybody else? It's the same thing like Councillor Kama. We give them the money, it goes to the foundation, so it's up to them to decide what to do with it. If they want to put it on this equipment, it's their choice. But I still support to give them the money every year as our contribution. The request was made for December 2020. That means that we already gave the $6,200 for this year. So I think we're good for this year, but as you said, every year we give funds for the hospital. I think we do our share from the municipality. So if you agree, we can send a letter to Dr. Koch just to explain that fact that every year, and since many years, we are giving a donation to the hospital, and this year, it's not different. We already contributed over $6,000 to the foundation, and we will continue to support them. So we will not do a specific donation for this campaign. So if everybody agrees, we'll send a letter. We will go on with 8.5, another letter from Lloyd Hines, and this is on the Duffy Road.
Dear Warden LeBlanc, thank you for your letter dated September 22nd, 2020 regarding the state of Duffy Road in Sonyville and Sonyville Station. Regarding your highway safety brush cutting concerns on Duffy Road, I will request local Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal staff evaluate the section of the road as noted in your letter. Additionally, I will request TIR staff consider coordinating the brush cutting of this section of Duffy Road with other brush cutting priorities in the area over the coming months. Should you have any further questions, please contact Area Manager Pamela Shand at 902-742-2416. Sincerely, Lloyd P. Hines, Minister.
Any comments? I had reported the concern to the council, so I can communicate with the people who had contacted me and tell them that the reply will be on the website. Yes. Thank you. And our minutes, once they're approved in January, when the minutes of this meeting will be approved in January, it will be official, and there will be a link to the letters from Minister Hines and a reference to the letter as we have it here. But since we had several correspondence with the Minister Hines, who refers us to Mrs. Chand, I will make a note to do some follow-up in the weeks and months to follow, because there are dossiers that are important for the council to make sure that they don't get lost in all the bureaucracy that we have here and at the department. May I have a copy before I leave tonight? Yes. Any more discussion on this? If not, we will go on to 9, Chief Administrative Officer's report. Thank you. My report is not very long, but there is part of the report that is detailed on the internet. I talk regularly with Telecom, and I spoke with them today. The project is going ahead. If we look at November, there was a lot of progress. Unfortunately, a lot of these work has related to Nova Scotia Power, and I think specifically of the Grosecock River and the underpass at New Edinburgh. I'm happy to report that these two situations have been solved now, and they are working. Those parts of the project are completed. So Mr. Clare also is working to the east, is going behind Nova Scotia Power, and they have just completed splicing the fiber optic, and they are testing as they go. Mainland hope to be able to have clients subscribed and to give them service in January. I know it continues to hold back, and they are aware of that, but they seem very confident that in January they will be able to have phases 1, 2, 3, and 4 to the residents of Clare who will have access. So if I break down the project by different phases, the phase 1, which is Route 1 from Comoville to St. Bernard, the strand, the construction of the fiber itself is complete. The splicing and the testing is being done now. And this is something that they need to complete, basic network testing, and they are completing it before they can hook up the clients. The second phase, which is New Edinburgh, and the installation of fiber is completed. The testing is almost complete. The phase 3 is from the Township Road of Ohio to Hassett. That phase is complete. The splicing and testing is taking place. Phase 4 and the side roads along phase 1 in Majors Point, Ontario Road, etc. They're also in English. The fiber construction is complete, and the fiber and testing is almost all done. So it is just a question of a few weeks. Phases 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be final. The phase 5, which is the Patrice Road in concession, Lynbrook Station, the make-ready trimming are all completed. The construction of the string of fiber optic is being done now. Phase 6, which is concession St. Joseph and PF Como Road, the make ready and trimming there is also completed, and the construction of the strand and the fiber optic is being placed presently. Phase 7, which is from the cultural hub in Comoville until the Amiro Road, going past the intersection on the Sonyville Road, 2nd Division Road, and Eustache Como Road. There, the make ready and trimming are being done now. The construction of the fiber optic and the strand will follow after. Phase 8 from Sonyville Road and the Sony Road, there also the make ready and the trimming are taking place now. The strand and the fiber optic will follow. The phase 9, which is the Mitagan River, D'Entremont Road, and Placide Como Road, the trimming is complete. The make ready work is being, the rest is being made now, and the fiber to follow. Phase 10, which is the Mitagan Connector, Bonnie Road, Peter Como, John Thibodeau Road. The Bell has finished its scoping in that section. Nova Scotia Power has started their scoping on December 16th. That being said, the mainland could go quicker, but they had the opportunity to start the trimming before Nova Scotia Power start their scoping, so they took advantage of the opportunity, so the trimming was already well ahead in that part.
Phase 11, which is Sonyville Road to Maxwellton along the 2nd Division Road. There also, same thing. Bell has already scoped it, and SBI has started to their evaluation and their scoping on December 16th, and also the opportunity was presented to do the trimming before Nova Scotia Power arrived, so the company once again took full advantage of that. Finally, the 12th phase, which is the last one that we have for now, which is the rest of the D'Entremont Road going towards the Salmon Lake Road. The scoping or the plans for mainland were submitted to Bell and Nova Scotia Power for their evaluation, so scoping has not yet begun for that section. When I mentioned in November that mainland had some success to be awarded an extra 20 kilometers to our network, so that will allow them to reach another 120 houses in our houses, which otherwise would not have been served by high-speed internet. So those are good news. As part of that extension, Develop Nova Scotia is ready to contribute up to $495,000 above what they have already contributed. I asked Nick from mainland today, with the winter months that are coming upon us, unfortunately, with the storms and the cold, if they will continue working during the winter months, or if the work will stop until the spring. And he assured me that mainland will continue working. VistaCare, will continue working throughout the winter, weather permitting. During storms, no, but otherwise, yes. It's not really VistaCare, but the traffic control that decide a yes or no. Traffic controls this fall was a bit of a challenge also to have. It was a bit of a challenge for mainland to have access to these services, and McLeod was used. Dexter bought McLeod, and Dexter took that staff and sent them out to the south shore of the province, because Dexter had big contracts there for roads. So they really put the priority there before the winter months. So now that that work is done, mainland thinks that they will have a better success to have access to more resources from McLeod for traffic control, even more than they had in the fall months. So that being said, the project is going forward a little bit slower than what we would have wished for. But if I compare my report from November 4th, which is available in the meeting minutes, and this report from this month, we still see some progress. So, and for the Bell project that was sponsored by the REN, I have not received news from Bell specifically for their project. The number of houses that they'll touch, the deadlines to complete the project. I know that the project will go along the 340, but apart from the details that they have divulged in their press release, I don't have any more information on that project. For our tourism and public spaces project, we have received the conceptual plans of all the sites of the project. I had the chance to revise them with our tourism manager on November 9th, and we gave our feedback to Upland. We were very happy with what they presented us up until now. The next step will go to try to schedule a virtual meeting with council members to do the same exercise, just to go through the plans before we can present the plans to different tourism stakeholders that participated in the planning sessions at the beginning of the project. So if you agree, you could maybe look at your calendar for January 13th, which is a Wednesday, the second Wednesday of the month. It would be an evening meeting, just to let me know if that date would work for you, and if so, if you are interested in participating in that session. For the Clare Veteran Center, the work with RAD regarding the design of the extension and the renovations to the building are going ahead. RAD is also doing the sub-trades, so different engineers, cost estimates, etc. We are trying to finalize all that work, including the specs for the work that we wish to undertake. We hope to have everything done in February 2021, so in a couple of months. And in November, I had mentioned that there were some reparations that were needed at the roof, and those repairs have been made. So everything is fixed for now. For the community welcoming committee project, Chantal Suret and Amy Paradis participated in different events during the last month. Everything to make the project move forward with Réseau Santé Nova Scotia for immigration and access to French services in Nova Scotia for the immigrants. We met Emmanuel Marimana from the French Immigration Network to see if there are opportunities, partnership opportunities or exchange opportunities or help opportunities between our project and their activities. If you remember that as part of the project, there was a component that was under the direction of the Société Acadienne, and that was mostly cultural. So under that component, there was we had included the hiring of a staff member that will report to the Director General of the Société Acadienne, and that person was hired. It's Marc-André Legacy, and he will start on January 4th. We participated in a session with Y-Reach entitled Newcomers and Neighbors Celebrating Rural Nova Scotia. We are participating in meetings regarding the family al-Manager. If I pronounce it correctly, it's a family of Syrian refugees that are coming to settle in Clare at the end of the month of December. So we're working with the group, with a group of volunteers in the community to make sure that the family is well received in the community. We started preliminary activities to organize French classes, French as a second language in the municipality for newcomers in the municipality with the intention, and that was a key part of our submission to the IRCC. Part of the intention is to make these courses available to the workers of the community that are also interested in participating. Still there to make sure that they to ensure better integration in the community. The breakwater in Bilbos Cove, the BNG Lombard begun on November 19th. Since then, there were 3,000 tons of armor stone that was placed on the interior part of the wharf. The reason why they started on the interior side was to stabilize the structure because the wharf was slowly tilting inwards. So up until now, they've finished probably approximately half of the inside of the wharf. They placed a bit of armor stone on the outside side as well, but they just placed it there quickly. And the reason they did that was to protect the lighthouse. Once they get to the outside part and they get to that section, those rocks will be moved and put in place properly. But for now, they were just put quickly to protect the lighthouse. So if everything goes well with the weather, they should be done with this project by mid-February. So that is going quite well. For the housing action plan, I will talk about it a little bit later tonight. Asset management, there's not a lot that has changed since the last time. All to say that we have completed 5 of our 6 sessions, and the last one will take place on November 22nd. The EV chargers, we will talk about them later tonight. For the sidewalks in Meteghan and the work from Able Engineering Services, that's coming along very well. The drawings, the maps, the design plans, all that is all that has all been completed. The topographical survey of the site with GPS was completed, and that they used them to make a base plan for the design of the site. The base plan itself was completed. So in the base plan, we look at the contour, the roads, the ditches, the poles, the trees, the driveways, the drainage, different infrastructure, the landscaping, etc. So all that was completed. They're presently preparing a detailed design plan and profile for the sidewalks, and that they are doing it according to the norms of TRR for sidewalks.
So they just started that? It's in progress, 17% on the word. It is quite specific, but they just started that part of the work, and their intention is when they arrive at 50% of their complete plan, then they hope to have 50% by mid-January, and then have a virtual meeting with the council to talk about what they are considering, and before determining the whole plan and looking at problems and discuss with the engineers before they complete the project completely. For the track and field, there is no change since my report in November. There is nothing new. I spoke with the province this week, Mr. Chawan, and they didn't have any news. So they are sending a project that was approved last week, and he sees that as a positive step, and we should receive some news shortly. And that the province has already confirmed their participation in that project. They are waiting for the federal finances, and the way the program works, the federal monies go through the province. It comes from the federal, and then they will share that with us. For finances, we are still in a good position. As of November 30th, the municipality had $8,929,922 in revenue versus $6,869,034 in expenses, for a total surplus of over $2 million. So as of November 30th, the municipality had a balance of $2,256,613 in its operation account, $176,160 in its capital projects, and a total in reserve of $6,295,686. So that amount can be broken down as follows. The operational reserve, 2,164,863. Our reserves for capital projects, 2,798,948. Now our landfill, 332,049. And finally, our gas tax reserve, $997,000. So that is my report. If you have any questions. Councillor Camon. For the high-speed internet, if there are residents that they aren't sure if they will be able to hook on to the infrastructure, how could they go about it? What can they do? There is several people calling here with that same question. Certainly they are invited to call us, but I think the best way would be if you go on the mainland site, and I understand that they would have access to internet, but there is a button that you can push where you can send an email directly to mainland, and they get the message, and the people do that exactly to find out if they will be able to hook on to the system. Mainland answers these emails because for them it shows where there is an interest in Clare, and it will help with the placement of the system. The best way to do it would be to send an email or to call mainland, and mainland has the intention of making modifications to their site map that they will bring it to the point where you only put in your civic address and they will be able to place you and know. But if you don't succeed in joining them, you can call us here and we will follow with your questions. We have access to maps that are not public yet, but if I can find the answer based on those maps, I can contact mainland to let them know if yes or not they can hook on. Any more questions on that? Thank you. We will go on with 10, the committee reports. 10.1, the construction permit report. Danny usually does that, but he's not here. Neil? I can do this. In November 2020, there were 12 permits. There were 12, in 2019 there were 12 permits, and in 2020 there were 26 in total to date for the year. There were 201 to date and 247 in 2020. So the total in 2019 was 8,716,835, and in 2020 so far, at the end of November, 9,451,219. So it is a surplus over last year so far. Thank you. Okay, we will go on to 11 under new business. We have a motion to amend the signing authority for the municipality of Clare. Two changes. Following the election, we wanted to change to include the Deputy Warden Yvon Leblanc as a signer, and at the staff level, after a discussion with our auditors and internal control, we thought we should replace Jeanette Chef with our Community Development Director, Pam Doucette, and we have the warden, the deputy warden, in combination with either myself or the director, Pam Doucette. Any discussion on the motion? If not, Councillor DeVoe, I would like to make the motion, please. I move that the council for the municipality of the District of Clare amend its signing authorities as follows. The warden, Ronnie LeBlanc, or the deputy warden, Yvon LeBlanc, and Administrative Officer Stéphane Cyr or the Director of Community Development, Pam Doucet. Does anybody wish to second the motion? Seconded by Councillor Gadet. All those in favor? Yes. Contrary? Motion is carried. 11.2, motion to award a contract for the Housing Action Plan. The municipality, in partnership with ACOA, has put a project together to have a plan of action for the housing in the municipality of Clare. We know that the lack of housing is a challenge. It's a problem for our community. So with that, we came out with a request for proposals to prepare a project, and we received 3 tenders. We evaluated these 3 tenders, and the recommendation of the staff was to accept the tender of SHS Consulting at the amount of $37,270 plus HST. And just to remind the councillor, a part of this project is financed by ACOA at 75%. They pay 75%, so the implication of the municipality will be a quarter of that amount. So if you agree, I need a motion to accept the tender for the action plan. Councillor Gadet. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare award the contract to develop the municipality's housing action plan to SHS Consulting in the amount of $37,270 plus HST. Seconded by Councillor DeVoe. Any discussion on the motion? If not, everybody in favor? Against? Motion carried.
11.3, motion to approve funding, level 3 EV chargers. Yes, this is a project that when I spoke to you at the beginning, it was sponsored by Nova Scotia Power to a regional project in Southwest Nova Scotia to look at the installation of EV chargers in our communities. The program that they are using is a program from Natural Resources Canada that funds 50% of these chargers. The objective at the time was to look at 20 chargers on this part of the province. Since then, I think I mentioned it at the last meeting, the project is now sponsored by the REN. So the intention behind the project has not changed. It's to make us present a submission to Natural Resources Canada for some funding to finance the purchase and installation of these chargers. The objective of the project is to remove some pressure from the electrical grid. So for those people, there's the option to do them solar powered or by battery. It's an option that costs more, but the option is there. And also, it is to encourage electric cars. We know that we're going that way. We're far from being there, but the intention is that if we have the chargers, if we have chargers in the community, it would encourage that transition a little bit faster. The intention behind this, and behind this, if we go in this to make money, it's not the good reason to go in. It's not a money maker for communities. The intention is not to focus on revenue. The intention is to focus on a break even. The reason to do this rather is to look at it as one element of a bigger strategy that aims renewable energy and the environment. So that is how we have to think about this. The chargers, even if this is a project of the REN, the chargers would belong to the municipality. The municipality decides how the people will pay. There are different options. There's some with smart technology and all that, but the importance is to ensure that people can pay with either credit or debit card. Um, we can fix the rates that we want, but there are that being said, there are norms that need to be followed. So in the REN project, since we spoke the last time, they changed. At the beginning, they wanted 20. Now they say that they want 30, so it's a bit more ambitious. They're a bit more ambitious since last time we spoke. So if I look now from what is confirmed, they think that they'll install 4 in Yarmouth municipality, 4 in Digby municipality, 2 in town of Digby. Lots of them are level 2. The difference between level 2 and level 3, other than the price, is the time that it takes to charge the car. Level 2, you're looking at maybe several hours, 12 hours to charge a car. I don't know for a fact, but I have the impression it makes sense for municipalities, for example, that have fleets or that wants to go towards a fleet, that they use the vehicle during the day, bring them back to the office and charge them for the evening. That does not apply to our municipality. I know that Argyle opted for 3, 1 level 3 and 2 level 2s. The Sobeys in Barrington will install 2 level 3s. There's Just Us Coffee also in Grand Pré. The reason why Just Us Coffee is involved is that they made a request in the past and were refused, probably because they didn't meet the criteria. But now they can participate as part of this project, so it's one of the 30, so it's a good thing. I don't know if you followed on the news, but recently there were other municipalities in the province that have received funding for a similar project. It's a Pan-Atlantic project. It's municipalities that have their own energy utility, and they generate their own electricity. So Antigonish will install 12 chargers in the town. Mahone Bay will install 8 and Berwick 20. So they're part of a group that's called Alternative Research Energy Authority, or area in general. So that's just a little bit of context for what's going on a provincial level and also in the southwest area. So level 3 chargers, as I mentioned last time, they can charge a car in between 20 and 30 minutes for a distance of over 200 kilometers. The cost is, the installation is as expensive as the cost. So the purchase and installation, we look at about $80,000. As a recipient in all of this, we can be reimbursed 50% of each charger for a maximum of $100,000. So we're looking at 3 chargers, $240,000. I put a little buffer just in case something happens. So if the motion that I proposed tonight is a motion to go forward with it, with three level chargers, up onto to contribute a maximum of $160,000. That being said, the intention is to pursue provincial financing to help to reduce our contribution. I've also been told that there is a funding possibility from Nova Scotia Power, because it's in their best interest also to see these chargers pop up a bit everywhere. So I stress a maximum of, because the amount that we would contribute would be less than that. We can put that on 2 fiscal years, and if something changes, we always have the option to say, okay, we don't want 3, we want to reduce the number to 2, and then Rent is responsible to find someone else to take the extra charger. But for tonight, as a follow-up to the discussion that we had 2 weeks ago, I recommend a contribution of up to $160,000 for the purchase and installation of the 3 EV chargers. And the 3 we had proposed was the Joseph and Marie Dugas Park in Bilboscope, the Clare Veterans Center in Sonyville, and the Lighthouse Park in Cap Sainte Marie. Because the intention was to offer the service for our community, so we want to distribute it geographically, but the intention also is at the tourism level to encourage people to get off the highway that come either from Yarmouth or the valley to have access to these chargers and to have them come into the community to have access. And while they're here, we hope they will stay a bit and take advantage of it. So that's the motion that I propose for you tonight for your consideration. Is someone who wants to do the motion for that? Councillor Potier? I move that the council for the municipality of the District of Clare contribute a maximum of $160,000 towards the purchase and installation of 3 level 3 EV chargers within the municipality. Someone who wants to second the motion? Seconded by Councillor DeVoe. Is there discussion? Councillor DeVoe? Thank you, Deputy Warden. The 30, if they don't find 30, does the whole project go under, or the project asks for a minimum of, the program asks for a minimum of 20, so the REN decided to go over that. So the 30, I would say, is more of a goal that they have fixed, but as of now, with those that have expressed interest that have confirmed, they're already almost at the 20. So there seems to be some interest from other municipalities here in the Southwest. As I said, the program level 2 or 3 doesn't matter for them. For NRCan, it's a question of individual preference. But yes, to answer your question, it's the minimum is to be considered under the program is 20.
Any more discussion or comment on that? Question is called. All those in favor? Against? Motion carried. We will go on to 11.4, motion to send a letter, Nova Scotia Department of Transportation Infrastructure Renewal concerning the intersection of Sonyville Road and 2nd Division Road. Does Councillor DeVoe want to talk about this? That means that at the intersection of Sonyville Road and 2nd Division Road is at the Sonyville Station. It is an area where it's an intersection and they have lights on top. They have stop signs, big stop signs, and warning stops. They have everything. But again, there are often accidents at that corner. And we are lucky that these are not serious accidents. But an accident is an accident to me. There are people who ask me to see if there is something else that we could do. And I told them that I can't think of anything. They came with the idea of being able to have speed bumps. So it would be something like at the end of the 101 when you arrive in Yarmouth. When you arrive at the end of the 101, you have these speed bumps to tell you that you are at the end and to wake you up a bit. So we could put speed bumps going down what we call the lower concession that would be at the 2nd Division Road and also coming down on the 2nd Division Road, the road that comes from what we call the Bangor Road. So it would be to try to send a letter to see if they can arrive at least, if they can at least come to see if it's possible to have speed bumps on those roads to slow down or even prevent accidents that are there often. Are you ready to make the motion? Yes? I will make the motion. I move that the Council of the Municipality of the District of Clare send a letter to the Nova Scotia Department of Transportation and Infrastructure renewal asking it to conduct a safety review of the intersection of Sonyville Road and Second Division Road, including the possible installation of speed bumps. Thank you. Does anybody wish to second the motion? Councillor Gaudette, any discussion on that? If not, are you ready for the vote? All those in favor? Yes. Contrary? No. Motion is carried. We will go on to 11.5, motion to send a letter to the Nova Scotia Transportation and Infrastructure renewal concerning brush cutting along service roads. This was Councillor DeVoe again. Do you want to talk about it? It's when they built the 101, they of course, they cut some land lots in two where people have lots on both sides of the 101. They had service roads so that the public can go on their lands to cut wood or for other reasons, but mostly to cut their wood on their land. And it is at the point where there are many of those service roads that you cannot get. It's difficult to get to where you want to go to cut wood. And the public asked if they could send a letter to ask that they come out and clean these service roads. Are you ready to make the motion? Yes, I will make the motion. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare send a letter to the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal of Nova Scotia, asking it to trim the overgrowth brush along the highway service roads so as to ensure proper access. Moved by Councillor DeVoe, seconded by Councillor Doucette. Any discussion on that? If not, all those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. 11.6, motion to send a letter of support to the Fédération Régionale des Arts et du Patrimoine of St. Mary's Bay. Yes, the FRAP has developed a project that makes the promotion of an Acadian tradition, and that also looks at preserving our traditional recipes to make them more accessible so that people can have access to them by smartphones or an app, essentially. So they have the intention of sending a request to Heritage Canada for the finances for this project. As part of the request, they need a letter of support from the community or from the municipality. So the request that they are asking us, and I recommend it, is for a letter of support from the council to include with their submission. They are not asking for money to sponsor the project, but just for support. They will not only limit themselves to the Acadian cuisine, traditional cuisine, but also they will look at opportunities not only to promote our Acadian recipes to the people who are coming to our community, but also to to present the traditional recipes and cuisine to the new arrivals in our community to make the promotion. So there is an interesting link between the Acadian Society and our welcoming committee, and I see this as good to support their project. Does anybody wish to make the motion? Councillor Poitier. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare send a letter of support to the Fédération Régionale des Arts et du Patrimoine de la Baie-Sainte-Marie for its project entitled Cuisine et Culture Interactive and Inclusive. Seconded by Councillor DeVoe. Any discussion on the motion? If not, everybody in favor? Against? Motion is carried. 11.7, we have a motion to extend the completion date of the Old School Cannabis Inc. If you remember, last year we had sold the former school at Salmon River to Robert Fox, Pound Cannabis Inc. And since then, he changed the name of his company to Old School Cannabis Inc. As part of our agreement, there was a condition that Mr. Fox had 12 months to obtain the necessary licenses to operate, or the permits, and also to completely renovate the building. So everybody who went by the building, it is quite evident that Mr. Fox has invested in the building for renovations. There is no doubt there, but unfortunately, with the last year, which was not easy for anyone, with the presence of COVID-19, it slowed down the government process quite a bit, including, in this case, the transfer of permits to operate. So considering the fact that Mr. Fox really got involved in the project and did a lot of investments in the building, I would like to offer him the opportunity to continue his work and to get the permit. So what I am proposing tonight for your consideration is that we change our contract with Mr. Fox and that we grant him 12 months extra to complete his work and obtain the necessary permits. That would bring the end of the project or the contract to December 18th, 2021.
Someone who wants to make the motion on that one? Councillor DeVoe? I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare extend the completion date of its agreement of purchase and sale with Old School Cannabis Inc., formerly Pound Cannabis Inc., by an additional 12 months to December 18th, 2021. Someone who wants to second the motion? Councillor Godet. Is there discussion on this one? If not, ready for the question? All in favor? Against? Motion carried. We will go to 11.8, a motion to accept a proposal, Phase 2 Environmental Site Assessment Eco Park. As part of our, as part of the sale of the Eco Park, we have, we made a Phase 1 environmental, not surprising, considering the historic component of the site, that we are now obligated to go to a Phase 2 environmental site. So if it's still if the council still intends to sell the property, we don't have any choice. It doesn't matter who the purchaser is. It's something that we will be obligated to do. And this document will essentially help the purchaser to if there are things that we need to address, and also it will allow the purchaser to finalize their financing. So in our negotiations with the potential buyers that are currently around the table, it is understood that the cost of this study will be added to the cost of the sale of the property. So what I sent you earlier in your package was a submission from Woods. Wood did the phase 1 assessment. They know the properties in question, and we thought it was good to continue with them as an extension of the project, simply because they have the knowledge. They already have the knowledge, and it will make the process go quicker. So that being said, the submission that we received from Woods for phase 2 is for $39,249 plus HST. And once again, just as a reminder, that if the sale goes forward, that amount will be added to the sale price. So we're just cash flowing until we sell the property, the eco park. Someone who wants to make the motion for this one? Councillor Godin? I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare accept the proposal for the completion of a phase 2 environmental site assessment at the Eco Park in Meteghan as submitted by Wood Environment and Infrastructure Solutions, Division of Wood Canada Limited, in the amount of $39,249 plus HST. Seconded by Councillor Potier. Is there discussion on the motion? No? Ready for the question? All in favor, indicate by saying yes. Against? Motion carried. So now we will go to 12, which is the closed sessions for people who are listening. There's an item 12.1, personnel matters, and sorry, there are 2 items. 12.2, purchase and sale of municipal property. And I would also like to say that the next meeting will be January 20th, 2021 at 7 p.m. And I would like to wish you all a Merry Christmas from Council, and we will see you next year.
Excuse.
Sorry, I need a motion to go to the closed session. Moved by Councillor Doucet, seconded by Councillor DeVoe. All in favor indicate by saying yes. Against? Motion carried.